Hello Gemini, how are you? Welcome to your November reading. Thank you so much for being here. Been shuffling and about ready to get started, so give me a couple more shuffles. Okay. And Judgment. Well, I mean, this is a moment of decision for you about something or someone. And something coming to a head. You know, this is unavoidable. It's a Uranian energy, right? Uranus comes and it casts its little spell and creates a little bit of havoc. It's a little bit rebellious. It requires change. It requires revision. And it requires you to change direction. Now, it doesn't always have to be so dramatic. Excuse me, guys. I'm a little bit sick, so I'm going to be taking a couple breaks for my tea and stuff like that, but it doesn't have to be so dramatic, but it is something that it's forceful. It forces itself upon you, and it can be stressful, but it's always liberating. Okay, so it's not anything to really stress about or to be afraid of. It's something to be welcomed, because it does tell you that you are ready to walk through, right? Because this is the second to last card. It's number 20. The next card is number 21, the World. And that's the end. So it does tell me that something is nearing an end, although not all the way, or not quite. But it's going to require some kind of action from you. Okay? Queen of Wands. She's been making an appearance this month. Queen of Wands is the card of Aries, but could represent an air sign or an air-like quality. Fire. I'm sorry, guys. A fire sign. Aries. Air is in Aries. Or fire sign. Leo, Sagittarius, or someone that just has a spark or feels sparkly in your life. It could be you or someone else. I'm not quite sure yet. But Queen of Wands is someone that is powerful. She's progressive. She's not one to just take it lying down, right? She's a warrior. She's a fighter. We think of the being the card of Aries. We think of Mars as the ruler of Aries, right? Who is Mars? Mars was a warrior, right? He was this fighter. He was built to fight. He was potent, he was powerful. And she's not a force to really just, like I said, take it lying down. She's going to get in the trenches. She's going to get her hands dirty. She's going to make things happen. She can work really, really hard when she needs to. And it might require that. It might require some work from you, or it might require that you do something that you're not super happy about. A lot of times the Last Judgment can represent information coming in, right? And it's like a moment of enlightenment, right? So it's not necessarily just that something happens and your life changes course, but it's that you gain knowledge, and it's knowledge that you cannot ignore. And because of this knowledge, something must be done. Okay? It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't always feel happy. It doesn't always feel like you're liberated, even though that's essentially what's happening. And the Ace of Wands, wow. There is potency here. This cannot be ignored. An Ace of Wands, right? It comes in, it's powerful. This is highly positive, guys. Highly positive. It is a moment or an opportunity for you to seize for growth and change. And I don't know why, Gemini, you're getting such a... I don't know what's going on in the stars this month. I haven't really been paying attention. I'm paying attention to the astrology aspect of it. But, you know, a lot of new things are going to be presenting themselves. For some of you, it's new love. For others of you, it's changes within your relationship. For others of you, it has nothing to do with love, but rather this sense of power and this sense of creation, right? You're going to be inspired to create or to do something new. Some of you, it's new career paths or just creative ideas. I'm sensing a lot of creativity here. Yes, creativity, inspiration, but you know, it's the aces are the universe's way of investing in you. And it is up to you to make something happen once those opportunities come your way. Okay, if you encounter this and you truly want a change in circumstances, you're going to have to seize this and do something about this, because this is the vehicle through which change occurs. Okay? Five of Pentacles. So it does tell me that you are at a place that you're not entirely satisfied with. Okay? This is a Pentacles card, so it does speak to the material aspect of life, but for the sake of a general reading, we're just going to keep it open to pretty much anything that you feel rejected from, isolated from, whether it's a person, right, that's kind of rejected you or made you feel isolated, made you feel alone, or something that feels unfair and unwarranted. You know, this is a tough place. Five of Pentacles is tough. It does feel like you've kind of been left out in the cold and that you've been forgotten, you know. What a powerful contrast between this and this. It's almost as though this is the catalyst that's going to be like, okay, universe, I'm ready for this. Please give me this. And then you're able to start a new track. In a non-romantic sense, it could be a new business opportunity for some of you, or a new career track, because there's a lot of dissatisfaction or a loss in finances here. And Three of Pentacles. So the Pentacles, the presence of the Pentacles indicates to me your physical world is changing. Whether it's where you live, the people you have in your life, it is like there's going to be a lot of things happening. This is so much more, I think, than I originally let on. This is really important for you. And Three of Pentacles is about creativity. And again, another Mars energy. We have the planet symbol Mars here. It's creativity, it's collaboration, working with people, leveraging past experience into something more, into something better. In a romantic sense, that would be using your past mistakes to become a better person, to attract a better person, kind of thing, all right? Within a relationship, it could be saying, okay, hey, partner, let's do something that's not about the relationship, but let's set these common goals. Let's work on these things together. Let's achieve certain things together. Let's get our paths parallel. Like, there's a major adjustments happening here. There's no doubt about it. And Three of Pentacles often begets positive results. So even in the midst of frustrated energies, it's almost as though like an emerging, I actually would see this more likely in a Scorpio reading, right? That phoenix rising from the ashes. It's kind of the vision that I'm getting, or the imagery that I'm getting. Where you are really taking the lead. You are the one leading the pack. People are looking to you. Okay, and Two of Swords. So a point of indecision. A moment of consideration, right? But this is the Lord of Peace restored. So whatever happens, it's not going to be in unrest for very long, because you will make a decision about something. You will finalize that path, and then you will move smoothly along that path. Be careful of your desire to really overthink, okay? Because Gemini, Mercury, you know, you're kind of known for thinking in nonlinear ways, right? That's kind of a Gemini thing, from like one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. Not to say you're incapable of connecting the dots or anything like that. That's certainly not the case. But I don't want to see you spinning your wheels. I don't want to see you wasting time. This is something that your intuition, because we have the moon aspect here, right? The moon is about your intuition. It's about your subconscious. It's even about that, really it's just that sense of knowing. And so I think you have the truth of what needs to be done. You already possess that. So it doesn't really require a lot of thinking. It's just like, okay, now I just have to do it. This month is about doing stuff. Now you're kind of at the mercy of this because there's really nothing you can do. So when this comes, you already have the answer. So don't over stress, okay? Because you can just cause a little bit more grief for yourself than it's really worth, you know? Just pick yourself up by your bootstraps, get down in the trenches and just get to work. There's no strategy needed here. There's no thinking. There's no planning. It's just a matter of, okay, just gotta do what you gotta do. And the Hanged Man. So a lot of this being at the mercy of the universe, really. So we have Uranus and we have Neptune. And Neptune is, first of all, this Hanged Man is the card of Pisces. Neptune being the planet that breaks down boundaries, the planet that dissolves things when it comes in contact, right? So I am feeling like there is a sense of something falling apart or something becoming deconstructed in some way. And what's left is like this raw whatever, you know, it's just something that's very... See, I don't know what, this happened with my Taurus reading. I got the Hanged Man as well. And as I was talking about the Hanged Man, my mind went in so many different directions and I couldn't formulate the words. And I think that that's kind of the essence of what this really even is, what this means, right? It's this, I can't finish my thoughts. I can't really form those linear thoughts. I can't really communicate those thoughts. It's just kind of like a feeling, and it's just like, it's kind of the whole essence of what this is, you know? And so you're kind of fighting two battles here. Getting this kind of up and running, getting this new path, this new direction growing, running parallel to a Five of Pentacles situation, but at the same time feeling very... I would say demotivated, or feeling like you kind of want to wait and see what happens. But this can be a downfall, I believe, right? This can be something that can really hinder progress. So when you experience that, and when you feel like things aren't, like there's not a lot of pressure and you're just going to wait and see what happens, then that's when you need to really put yourself in check and say, okay, am I ignoring what I know needs to be done for the sake of being, you know, more go with the flow, which Gemini is very good at, go with the flow, being a mutable sign, highly flexible, whatever. But I really, really, really think this month isn't, for a lot of people, it's about going with the flow, and that's why there's that tendency here. But for you, you really need to take care of something. And going with the flow could be more detrimental and just prolong something, okay? And just kind of make it drag out, make it last a lot longer than it needs to. Grab a drink here. And the Ace of Cups, beautiful. Ace of Cups always represents something new, right? New love, new pathways in your relationship, a renewal or a rekindling of some kind, a reignition of love. And I do believe with the aces here that some of you may be finding new connections. And I think that's why it's important to take hold of these and to be progressive and proactive here, as opposed to doing this whole go with the flow thing. Going after what you want, going after something that makes you happy. Now, the one thing that I can say is that these are kind of at odds, a Queen of Wands and an Ace of Cups, because this Hanged Man is here. Excuse me. And this is something that wants to dissolve the sense of self. And that's what she represents, right? Aries, the self, the first house. Okay? To not lose yourself in a new love. Okay? To not be so all consumed by something. It's very important to maintain you, all right? Because if you do have that desire to overgive, it's going to cause more problems further on down the road. And maybe that is kind of the problem, right? Maybe that is what's going, maybe there's going to be something that happens in regards to that, where you're going to have to tap into that sense of self. You're going to have to tap into what you want. And what you want may require a little bit of loss, right? Let me actually check the cards really quick, see if you can see them. Okay. I know I have a different setup like every month, guys. Sorry about that. But this is beautiful, but it must remain in check. You know, these all-consuming loves that we find, it's romantic at first, but I think all of us know that those all-consuming relationships usually are the ones that end up being the worst. You know, a sense of autonomy is always needed. Love and generosity and kindness versus power, autonomy and independence. You know, it's always that fine balance. And I think that there's like a conflict happening here between your desire to love, 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 and to be who you are. And the Magician. Wow, this came out in Taurus as well. The Magician representing, again, it's your ruling planet, Mercury here. It is a mercurial. And when you get a visit from Mercury, it's without permission. It's uninvited, right? But it is sometimes, it is... always brings about positive change in the long run, right? But please, this row concerns me. It's beautiful and there are beautiful elements here, but it concerns me because of the Neptunian and the trickery of the Magician, because he can also represent illusions and all of that. He can represent people pulling one over on you, which is why she is so important, which is why this Queen of Wands aspect of you, aspect of who you are, this Martian element is crucial for your quote-unquote survival through this particular judgment phase. I believe this is going to be a very in and out situation. It's not going to be something that's long and drawn out, and it's not going to be this whole thing. It's going to very much depend on your response to this. It's almost as though, now that I'm kind of finishing up the square, it's almost as though you hit this and it's like you can either be like this or you can be like this. But this is telling you to really be practical and intuitive about it, because you can either be alone and be on your own and be that full autonomous person that you crave to be, or you can be in an all-consuming, no boundaries, totally like open relationship, which is not ultimately healthy, right? Short-term happiness, yes, for sure, but something that does not have longevity. I wouldn't say that if it wasn't for the Magician coming out, but the universe, or it's kind of like fooling you a little bit. It's about finding the balance between the two. Okay, we've got even that Libra element here. Finding the balance between the two, being practical, setting goals, finding ways to have a relationship that's not about the relationship, but about a life together, a real life, you know? So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to be pulling a few more cards just to kind of cap off the reading. And the Lovers. See, look, this is intense. It's an intense month for you for sure. It's not going to be easy. Lovers is not easy. And you're fighting forces. Look, Spirit of the Mighty Waters. You're fighting off Poseidon, Neptune, right? I mean, we're talking about a powerful godlike force. And sometimes love can do that to you, you know? And chemistry, I feel, is so overpowering that we do lose our better judgment. And the Lovers adds to that. Detachment is important for you here, Gemini, okay? And I'm not always an advocate for detachment, but it is needed and necessary to be objective and to not lead yourself down a wrong path. I think you're kind of in a precarious situation here, Gemini, to be honest, because I think there's true desires for both. True desires for the love that you're experiencing and that independent Chariot. Man, this Chariot will not quit. Like, it is coming out in every single reading. It is, like I said before, that balance between love and power. And here you have love and here you have power. Okay? But I think that you will find it. I think that you will find a way, and even this is even your card here, Gemini, of course. And even like, I think that you will find your way through this. You might kind of have a little bit of a tug of war happening here, but ultimately you will find your direction and you will be fine. And the Fool, the foolish man, you know, look, you've got so many major arcana here coming out. We have 3, 4, 5, 6. So half the reading is majors, right? So the Fool can be highly destructive. He's associated with Pluto. But again, like I said, he's like that rise above the destruction. Sorry, the rise after the destruction. The Phoenix, Pluto, is the symbol of Scorpio, okay? And I said that before already. It's almost as though that's kind of what's needed to happen. Maybe you don't want to repeat something. You don't want to go through something again. So you have to remain objective. You already possess the answer. You already know what to do. Don't get lost in love. Don't get lost in chemistry. Don't get lost in good sex and emotion. But also don't be so attached that you are kind of, you know, a little bit of a jerk. Right? Mars is not a nice, friendly, cuddly energy. He's a warrior, right? And he can be really forceful and, you know, think that he knows best and all of this. It's the balance between the two, all right? And this is your chance to find the balance, to have something really powerful and have something really beautiful as well. Even though this is about a rise after destruction, you still have the sun. Sun representing God, okay, representing all that is good, the all-seeing and all-knowing form of consciousness that is here and guiding you on your path. And it will take you in the right direction if you let it, Okay, so Gemini, kind of a dramatic reading for you, but also very exciting. I hope that you guys do okay. I'm sure you will. And I will leave you with that. Thank you so much. I'll see you next month.